Everything happens for a reason. I just got done interviewing Upma Sharma, which I love the name, by the way. But she is a photographer, a professional photographer in the Bay Area. She has gone through so many different changes over her lifetime. So tune into this podcast. And she is actually offering a free one-on-one 30-minute meditation. So if you don't take the time to take care of yourself and your mind, start with setting up a time with her and getting that done. Hello, fellow mompreneurs. Welcome to the Real Moms Podcast, the go-to space for resilient entrepreneurs who are striving for abundant living. I'm your host, Shae Spitz, a mompreneur and a realtor here in Columbus, Nebraska. Are you a mom juggling the hustle of entrepreneurship, family life, and personal growth? Well, you're in the right place. On this podcast, we dive deep into the real, unfiltered stories of incredible women who are navigating the journey of mompreneurship. We'll celebrate the victories, share practical insights, and acknowledge that it's okay to face challenges along the way. Success isn't about the destination. It's about the journey and the growth we experience as we balance our careers and the chaos of family life. Whether you're a seasoned mompreneur or just starting on this exciting path, join me and our amazing guests as we explore what it truly means to be a resilient entrepreneur striving for abundant living. Get ready for real, raw, and remarkable conversations that will inspire and uplift you. Because here at the Real Moms Podcast, we believe in the power of community, authenticity, and the strength that comes from embracing the journey together. So grab your coffee, find a cozy spot, and let's dive into the world of mompreneurship. This is the Real Moms Podcast, where we celebrate the hustle, honor the struggle, and thrive as resilient entrepreneurs living abundantly. Welcome to another episode of Real Moms Podcast. I like to start every podcast off with a motivational quote, and today's quote is, "Everything happens for a reason." Today, I have Oompa Sharma, is a Bay Area-based professional photographer that specializes in family, newborn, maternity, and professional headshots. She is a mother of 9-year-old twin boys that fill her world and heart with joy. An engineer by education, she worked in tech for over a decade and found that her core values are happiness, love, and family. This is exactly why she pursued her dream to create and spread happiness and love through her photography. The moments filled with laughs, giggles, and love are the most treasured ones in life. She has been honored to have her work published in magazines like Forbes, CIO Today, and to have received awards. She can't wait to meet you and capture memories to be cherished forever. So, Oompa, thank you so much for being here and taking time clearly out of your very busy schedule. And obviously, Forbes magazine, that's a huge honor.
Thank you. Thanks so much for
Yes.
having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, absolutely. Now, you got introduced, like somebody had referred you to jump on, right? Is that because I interviewed a friend of
Yes.
yours and she's like,
Yeah,
you guys have to interview, or you have to interview her. She does amazing. So that's exciting. But tell me what your journey was like. What brought you here, how you got here, and kind of where you see yourself going.
absolutely. And I think first things first, I want to thank Kimberly Leal. She is a Bay Area realtor, absolutely amazing. So thank you, Kimberly, for the introduction to Shay and to Real Moms podcast.
Yes.
Um, yeah, about my journey. Being born in India to doctor parents, my mom is a gynecologist, dad is a surgeon, and the path was pretty clear. You be doctor or engineer, and that's what you do in life. I studied engineering, I did my MBA, and I started working in tech. Got married to a techie husband, moved to United States, worked in a full-time corporate job as an engineer, and life was set. Like it's like that's what you do, and that's what I did as a good girl of good parents.
Yes.
uh, I always remember I loved taking photos and back in the day, whatever camera I had. But when I moved here in 2008, I got my first SLR and I was in love. Like I would just go out and capture the beauty around.
Mhm.
And then came my twins into my life in 2015. And I got my first professional photo shoot done by a newborn photographer, and I was in love. I was like, wow, blown away, and I was like, I want to do that. I did it for friends and friends of friends, and I still remember the first $150 that I got paid.
I
I was getting paid more than 150K in my tech job. It didn't mean anything. I still remember the first $150 because the friend of friend said, "We will not use your services for free," and that was the kick that I needed.
yeah.
And uh, and 3 years ago, I took a sabbatical from my tech job. I was like, I need 3 months for myself to just figure out what I want in life, and then here I am as a full-time professional photographer, having my studio and truly living the life of my dreams. I meet people and families and just get to capture their story filled with love and happiness, and it just fills my heart with joy.
You know, Oompa, I'm sorry, Upma, I apologize. But I love how you said, you were making $150,000 at your tech job, but you remember the $150, your first $150. Because there comes a point in our lives, especially as we get older, as we become wiser, is what I like to say, um, that it doesn't become about the money. I mean, the money will come if you follow your passion, you follow your heart, and you stick with it, and you follow what your purpose is. But I really, really love how you really honed in on that because that's a big step to go from, hey, this is a for sure $150,000 income to where are we going? What am I going to do? Like, tell me a little bit more about that. Did you have concerns on whether it was going to work? Were you worried about not having that income? Kind of walk me through that stage and then like what your husband even thought.
Thank you for asking. If I have to put one word, it was not an easy decision. Uh, and if I have to take you to the journey, I would say it was a slow brewing, where I realized how every moment. So I was in my full-time tech job. Evenings I would do my sessions. Nights I would do my editing, and I would work till 3, and then I would get up at 7 because kids and life and work, and it was like on rinse and repeat. And I came to a point where it took a toll. As a twin mother, I had twin pregnancy, and my back was impacted through my pregnancy and the early childhood years of my twins. So my back, I say, is the weakest part of my body, and it took a toll. It really took a toll, and that was technically the reason for my sabbatical. I just could not. I couldn't do my everyday activities, and there came a point where physically I was like, I have to take a break because of medical reasons, and that break also give me mental clarity, where I was like, I have to give up something. This cannot continue, and what can I do? And my husband, because he's a techie as well from very similar background, he was quite scared. Because he said once you leave a tech job, it's hard for you to go back, which I knew. But I actually thankfully worked with a coach. I got a coach right 2 or 3 months before that time, and she helped me chart what mattered the most to me in my life.
Right.
And it turns out that to me, family was the biggest priority in life.
Hmm.
And over here, when I was doing this endless jobs, um, I was not showing up for my family, or I was showing up broken, or not complete, and that is not who I wanted. Um, so in fact, I have to share, it was such a beautiful journey. I took the sabbatical, and then that time I was in Seattle, and was in Seattle for about 15 years. So I had a beautiful circle of friends, family, from work, from many, many places. The 3 months I went full time. Every month on month, I did the same financially as I was doing in my tech job.
Wow.
It
Wow.
was like, pinch me, I'm living the life of my dreams.
Yeah.
Like I I was so thankful. And then, life happened where my husband accepted a job in the Bay Area, California.
Yeah.
I left my studio of 1,000 square feet. I moved to a home, but I was not sure what my studio situation is going to be, and just leaving my whole circle of friends and my clients, uh, and leaving my community of work, because I had just switched from a full-time job to being an entrepreneur, where you kind of technically are on your own.
Yes.
um, and I still remember unpacking the boxes, and feeling lost,
Yeah.
like really feeling lost. And I think it took about 6 months.
Mhm.
When we then emptied our garage, we got a shed in the backyard, and I converted the garage into my studio. I have another room downstairs, and I ran advertisements. I reduced my prices. I just worked hard. I remember doing 5 newborn sessions every day straight, because I just wanted to prove myself
Yeah.
I can do it again.
Mhm.
And it's been 3 years, and I feel it has been a journey.
Yeah.
It has been a journey which has been like a roller coaster, but I am so thankful because it keeps me grounded.
Mhm.
It keeps me, like, it just keeps me on the ground, knowing that challenges are yours and wins are yours, and
Mhm.
there will be ups and downs, but enjoy this ride. And the quote, everything happens for a reason. Like, looking back, I feel California is a better market. Like, the sunshine, like moving from
Big difference from
Seattle.
Seattle.
Oh my gosh, like today it's mid of November, and I am sitting here bathing in the sunshine of the Bay Area, California. So um, it was not easy, but it's a journey which is full of just blessings from the universe.
Right. And I think what people need to realize that it's not about the destination. It really isn't. I know we all have that in mind. Like you need to have a vision and you need to have goals, but really about enjoying the journey. And as I told you before, like I'm home with my three kids because they're all sick. Now, did that throw a wrench into a lot of and they were homesick yesterday too. Did that throw a wrench into like some of my plans? It did. But you know what? I have to be okay with like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna take a step back. I've been traveling for 10 days and this is kind of my excuse to be able to lay on the couch and snuggle with my kids, you know? But it really is about the journey and not the destination. And there are going to be hard times. You will have hard times. And if you don't, you're not going to grow because you learn from failure, not from always succeeding. Would you
Yeah.
agree with that?
100%. I will give you an example. Like, when I moved in, I was not in a great space, right? And kids were going through transition. But I just remember, like, on smallest things, I would trip on them. I would not realize how it is the unhappy me who's showing up, and it's not them. They're just being children. And I'll be like, you come from the school, keep your bags where they belong, wash your hands, just like smallest of things. And um, I would say the biggest thing that has been with me, that has helped me turn things around, uh, is a foundation named the Art of Living. Uh, that is a foundation that believes in making this world a happier and a stress-free world. And they do that by teaching meditation and breathwork techniques. I went on a retreat with them, which was a silence retreat for 4 days, and I got to meet the leader, the founder, uh, Sri Ravi Shankar ji, and I was in bliss. I came back home, and every day since then, it's been about just about 4 months. Every day since then, I practice meditation and breath work in the morning,
Mhm.
and it gives me the energy that I need. it gives me the energy that I need to keep going and to just clear my headspace of whatever I have carried along through my childhood or just, on a day-to-day basis to then center myself and then do whatever I want in my life. So I'm so thankful for that.
Yeah, it really keeps you grounded. Meditating, or even if you don't know how to meditate, because meditation is definitely it's a workout for your mind, especially if you're an entrepreneur, because as entrepreneurs, our minds are going 100 miles an hour. You know what I mean? Like, what's going wrong? What's going right? What else do I need to do? How do I need to do this? Like, what do I need to do so you're going 100 miles an hour. So it is an exercise that does not come easy for most entrepreneurs, because you have to practice it just like everything else. You have to practice it on a regular, consistent basis. And even if it's just 5 minutes a day, I know some people meditate for 30 minutes, maybe an hour, several hours. But even if you want to start with just 5 minutes a day, just to like quiet the mind. My pastor last year, he's like, Shae, you really need to learn to be still. Like, that just has always stuck in my head since he told me that about a year and a half ago. He said, I'm a lot like him, where we get up in the morning, we're just ready to go. Like, go, 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 go. We got to have something going on. And he said, I want you to just learn to be still. No music, no, like, and that was hard, but it does, it does really help clear your mind. So would you want to kind of go through that exercise, what that looks like for you for the meditation and breath work? Because I think if you're okay with it, if you're not, that's totally fine, or at least explain it. Like, what do you do to kind of clear your mind? If we can go through the practice, I'm all for it, So
Oh my gosh, I love that. Um, two things I would share. Number one, I will actually share a breathing technique on the call right now. And then I also wanted to say that I want to offer a 30-minute one-on-one meditation for anyone interested. Anyone interested, because I say the way we have gyms around in the world, we need more places where we just get more mental strength,
yes.
and this is part of mental strength. So I want to I'll share the information. I think we can but one-on-one 30-minute to anyone and everyone that thinks would love to just get a glimpse of this.
That would be amazing. So I'm going to stop you right there. For anybody who's interested in that, we'll drop the link below. So you'll send us that link. But if you want to just say it here too, how
Yes,
could
yes.
they get a hold of you? Go ahead and.
Absolutely. Yes. So they can get hold of me through my website, Upma, UPMA, and then Sharma, which is SHARMA.com. And you can go to my contact me form and just send me a message, and I will work with you. Either I will do it or I will have someone else do it. But I would love for every one of you listening to get a 30-minute meditation experience.
I think that's amazing. I love the idea, like you said, we all have gyms around here, but really, I mean, I've never had somebody like put that perspective, but it is like, obviously your physical fitness is so important, but honestly, through my journey of entrepreneurship and self-development, I have learned that my mental health is the most important. Now, the gym kind of plays a role in that. Like, if I'm not working out and stuff, for me anyway, that's where things kind of slip. But just like, I mean, I need my morning routines. I need my quiet time. I need my be still time. I need all of that. So I love that perspective that you pointed out.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And then for today, I can share a breathing technique. This is called straw breathing.
Okay.
What you do is before you start, just make sure you're seated somewhere with the back straight. And yes,
Pulling in my chair. Got it. Okay.
perfect. And first, I will demonstrate and I will say it as well. And then I would have you do it.
Okay.
So you take you close your eyes, you take a deep breath in, and when you exhale, you make an O with your lips, almost thinking it's a straw. And then you slowly and slowly breathe out through the imaginary straw. Make it as slow and deep as you can. And then when you complete this, you take another deep breath in and just slowly exhale. Do about for 3 to 5 breaths at your own pace.
I'm gonna go take a nap now.
How was your experience?
It is amazing. So, what would you say are the benefits of just doing? Because I do that a lot with my 5-year-old who stepped in here before.
Perfect.
Because when she gets upset, like she gets very elevated. So I'm like, okay, B, her name's Braylon. We call her B. I say, okay, B, take a deep breath. And when I can get her to finally that state of her like being able to like listen to me, she'll do it. And it just makes such a big difference. But can you tell me like what is the science behind breath work?
Absolutely. Um, and so the key thing is that a lot of times we, and pardon me for my maybe not such a scientific explanation.
That's okay. You gotta break it down to my
I
level
think,
anyway.
yeah, I think it's the reactive part of brain. Most of the times, that is what captures our mind, and that is the one on the driving seat.
Mhm.
When we do a deep breathing, it's the more thinking and the logical part of the brain. We allow that to work as compared to just a reactive part of the brain.
Mhm.
So that is the one that makes a difference. And at the end, what it does is before we take any action, it will just give us that little time to think, to say, oh, here are the options, and you choose from them. Otherwise, a lot of times we just operate from our habits.
Mhm.
So, like, it's just simple habits. And now you have a choice to say, you have that habit, you have another option, like you can just choose from the options. And it's very interesting. And it doesn't mean that you would stop making mistakes.
Mhm.
You will still make mistakes, but maybe the recovery time from the mistakes will be quicker. I'll give you an example. As I mentioned, I'm an engineer. I was pretty good at maths while growing up. Like that was my favorite subject. And one of my twins just joined a new maths class recently, which is pretty challenging. So my husband sat with them over the weekend and he helped them. But this week he was traveling and their homework was not done. So I was like, not a problem. Mom can help you with that. And then my child goes, Mom, this is hard maths. Because, he was maybe 6 when I quit my job. So his brain doesn't no longer remember that I'm an engineer. He just knows that I'm a creative photographer.
Yes, yes.
So I took the book and it was truly challenging. I took the book and I realized that I need just some time to read the book by myself and then invite him. And then I invited him and then he was fiddling his legs and he was just like, kids being kids. And I just got tripped and because mommy had put in time to read the book.
Right?
Mommy had traded that time doing something else that she could have done and then I got tripped and I was like, Arjun, that's not okay, or like,
Yeah.
and then he just cried and ran away. And then in a second I was just like, oh, what just happened? Upma? You were here to help him and not to trip him off. And
Right.
but then I was able to catch myself. And
Uh-huh.
then I went to him and I hugged him and I said, I apologize. That was not you. That was my mental state where
Mhm.
I was not at peace with myself because I was making those trade-offs and I was kind of somewhere feeling that, oh, I didn't get back on that inquiry or something. And I said, Arjun, it's all about me. But
Mhm.
he apologized. He saw, and I try and exhibit the the normal human, which is I'm not perfect.
Right.
I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. The
Hmm.
growth mindset where mommy will make mistakes, mommy will realize, and mom will try to do better next time.
Hmm.
And I just, at that night, we finished the homework, and that night he hugged me and he said, "You're the best mom ever." And it just melted me. Like, it just melted me. So, like I am so thankful that I came across this mental strength work. I would say just the mental strength, because it's just like physical strength. When I'm physically fit, I can lift up my kiddos. And when I'm mentally fit, I can lift myself up. I can lift my kids' spirits. I can just show up better as a businesswoman, as a person in the world. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
I always tell people, the best thing that you can do as a person, but especially as an entrepreneur and as a parent and mom, is emotional intelligence. And I know if for anybody who doesn't understand what that means, but basically it's getting control over your emotions and learning to respond instead of react. Now, again, we're not all going to be perfect. We get better at it and you have to practice it, which is why meditation, exercise, all of being still is all so good for our bodies. But if you can conquer emotional intelligence, that will set you apart from so many other entrepreneurs. Because what happens, and parents, is when things happen, we just react to it. We don't respond, we react based off of previous habits, based off of maybe how we were raised or some unresolved trauma in our past. We react off of that rather than respond. So if you can conquer emotional intelligence through meditation, being still, exercise, self-help books, podcasts, it's not just doing those things, but or it's not just like listening to and reading books and podcasts, but it's taking the action of truly meditating, calming your mind, and then taking on those practices when those things come up. Because if you do all those things, but like that comes up and you don't recognize, oh, I just reacted to that, you're never going to get better, you know? So it's just those small little steps that we can take to conquer. I don't want to say conquer because I don't know if anybody ever truly conquers emotional intelligence, but get really good at it and recognize it. It just keeps everybody around you at a much calmer state.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I always say when emotions are high, logic is low. And by emotions, high emotions, that could be in like a high state of mind or a low state of mind. Because I've made, I want to say, unresponsible decisions when I was in a very high state of mind. Like you go to these conferences and they get you kind of pulled in, like pay for this and buy this. I'm like, yeah, I got this. And then I get home, like, why did I pay that much money for that? Like, I don't know at what point in time I would have time for it. But the reverse is also true. When you are anxious or depressed or angry or anything, you have to be able to recognize that. And that's what I do is I think to myself, okay, when emotions are high, logic is low. So depending on my emotion, is this an irrational decision that I'm making? And that seems to have helped me. I'm like, okay, maybe give it a day. Maybe I don't have like strong emotions, so maybe just let me sit on it. But that's really where that all comes from.
Yeah, yeah, you put it beautifully. I loved the way you did it. Yeah.
That's awesome. So now are your kids so they're going to school or do you guys homeschool them?
We do not homeschool
I
them.
don't homeschool either. So God
I
bless
feel
anybody who does.
I have so
Nope.
much respect for
Oh my,
anybody who does that. Yeah,
yes.
we go
No.
to school, and mommy gets the time to focus on work and just myself. Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
I know it's so important. That's why I say like God bless like stay-at-home moms because for my mental health, like that would be such a mental stress. So God bless the parents out there. And then the other kind of what brought me to doing this whole real moms thing is I would have like mom or stay-at-home moms who wanted to find their purpose because after your kids go to school, you're like, who am I? I'm more than just a mom or they have all those questions. um, and it's interesting because a lot of entrepreneurs are come from being a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah,
And
that's
they
so.
are very disciplined and they are go-getters. I tell you, like some of the best real estate agents have come from being stay-at-home moms because they know how to get things done.
I can completely believe it. In fact, I have to say that, when I was leaving my tech job, one of the biggest uh, fear for me was because a lot of us are recognized by our work, our position, the salaries, the power. Like a lot of that, knowingly or unknowingly, is kind of driven by that. And I was scared to leave that comfort zone, but
Mhm.
I have come to realize that it all comes from within. Can you look at yourself in the mirror, smile, whether makeup or not, or like you're in night dress, doesn't matter what state you're in, but can you look at the mirror at yourself in your eyes and smile full heartedly? Do
Mhm.
you accept yourself?
Right.
And for me, it has been a journey. And now I feel, especially after my meditation and breath work, I look at myself and I smile. I accept my imperfections. I accept myself for whoever I am.
Mhm.
And this world doesn't get to define anything. It's me. If I am at peace with myself, I am realizing like how I am just, changing small patterns for my family, just for my own self, the way I show up in the world. It makes all the difference. So, um, yeah, just I would say love yourself, accept yourself, and a quick test is look at yourself in the mirror. And if you don't feel that you accept, don't worry. You are on this quest and you're on this journey, and it will happen bit by bit. It's like peeling the onion, you will do it. And we moms are so powerful. We are so powerful. We have given birth to a life. Like, who can do it? Only
Right.
we
Not
can.
only birth, but we grew them inside of us. Like it's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. I love the way you used it. Like we gave them inception, like from a small seed to who they are today in the world, and then endless nurturing. And we're just so powerful and blessed. And so, if you don't accept yourself, be kind to yourself and find something you love, whether it is taking out nature, going out for a walk,
Mhm.
dancing, singing, just find your own peace. And I'm pretty sure each one of us has something. Take little time every day for yourself, and you'll be so much happier.
Oh my gosh, yes. It is just such a game changer when you start putting yourself first. And I think as moms, we kind of feel guilty for doing that. But we also need to remember, just like on an airplane, when what do they tell you? When that oxygen mask comes down, you put that on your face first before you help anybody else. Because if you're helping other people but not helping yourself, you are not showing up as the best photographer, as the best real estate agent, as the best mother, as the best wife. So you really need to, it's not, if you think it's selfish, it's really not. It's actually very selfless because you can be a better version of yourself for everybody around you.
Yeah, yeah.
One of my favorite analogies, I guess you could say, because I always remind my kids and myself too that we get to choose how we feel. Other people cannot make that decision for us. So if somebody says like, "Oh, they made me mad," okay, well they didn't. That's how you chose to respond. But one of my favorite reels that I've seen, like on social media and stuff, is this gentleman. He's talking about how people like to push his button, and he's like, "You can't push my buttons." And then the lady says, she goes, "It's not that people are pushing your button, it's the fact that you have a button for them to push." And I was like, oh, mic drop. Like, that's amazing. But you know what I mean? Like, you stop blaming other people for pushing those buttons. Don't give them a button to push. And then it's not going to bother you. And I know it's easier said than done, but once you conquer your meditation and your mindset and that emotional intelligence, I don't think, and maybe there's some buttons that people could push, but like I've made the joke that somebody could be like, Shae, you are really fat and you're not attractive. Like, ah, so sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Like, because my other favorite quote is, "Your problem with me is not my problem." It's
Hmm.
not. And we need to be able to recognize that. Like, as long as I'm not malicious, rude, like intentionally trying to sabotage somebody, which I don't think I've ever done that. things are not intentional. And you got to be able to either ignore the noise or completely just avoid it, and not take it to heart. Like move past it. Who cares? Okay, that's what they said. All right, well, you got to move on.
Yeah, yeah. And I feel that as started doing this, I can't tell you, like, since then, every month, my business has been thriving. I came back, and the first session I did was a corporate headshot for an AI startup in the Bay Area. And they had just raised Series B funds, and they were published in Forbes and Fortune and Business, like you name it. Like I had to go to the internet and find out where all is my work published. So, and I feel like just doing everything that I was doing before, but this time with peace and calm. And it was just flowing.
Mhm.
So, it's incredible, like especially when I meet my families, that's the energy I try to give.
Yeah.
We are all so busy, our kids are growing every day, and a lot of time I just say take time for your kids on a day-to-day basis. Enjoy doing something that they are doing, uh, and take time for family photos.
Mhm.
Find a person, whether it's your friend, whether it's a professional photographer, whoever you can, based on where you are in your life, but document yourself with your children.
Right.
They will grow up,
Mhm.
and this would be the most beautiful piece of legacy
Mhm.
that you will have and your children will have of you.
Yeah.
So everyone, take time, whether grab a friend, put a date on the calendar, just go to the park, get ready, try
Right.
and get a sunset time or anything that works for you. Get your photos every year. You will love them.
You will. You will. And I had an appointment yesterday, and when I walk in, this little boy, he's 18 months, and my heart fell. He was the cutest little thing, but I think it was more because he reminded me so much of my 8-year-old when he was that age. And towards like the end of our meeting, he started getting really whiny and he was screaming and crying, and I could tell she was getting stressed. Like that doesn't bother me. Like I got kids, I've been through it all. But I said, and I turned to her and I said, enjoy this. I said, I know you're stressed. I know this is stressful for you because you're trying to get your house ready and get your home listed and all of that. I said, but honestly, take the time, sit with them, go enjoy them. I said, I know you've heard it. We've all heard it. Time flies so fast, but enjoy it. Like, and I gave him my little notepad. It's a remarkable, so you can just color on it. And he was just like, oh, okay, and so he calmed down and whatnot. But yeah, I reminded her, I said, enjoy this. Like it is my little boy is 8, I mean, it's sad. But yeah, it's about the journey because we don't have kids and be like, oh, I'm so excited to see where they go in life. No, I'm gonna, like, oh, that's not why we have kids anymore. I think back in the day, that's why they had kids. Like, oh, I need help on the farm. Let me have
Yeah.
8 kids. That's what my grandparents did. But now it's more like we want kids because of the love and affection. We're not looking to see what they're going to do in life and who they're going to become and who they're going to marry and all of those things. No, we need to enjoy the life with them now, just like we need to do with our businesses. Like easier said than done again, but especially when you're going through those hard times in the thick of it. But that's what makes you who you are. And you are right now in the moment where you're supposed to be. I mean, nothing, you can't change anything. So you are where you're at with where you're supposed to be, no matter what. So that's how it goes. We just have to keep going. People don't fail, they quit.
Yeah.
Yes. So Uma, so tell me, okay, so we're gonna kind of wrap this up, but what is one piece of advice that you would give somebody who's maybe just starting off into their entrepreneurship journey, maybe just thinking about it, or maybe a piece of advice that you would give yourself 3 years ago?
Absolutely. I think the biggest piece of advice I will give is enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey. Celebrate your wins and celebrate your failures.
Mhm.
Celebrate your failures because they are the ones who will give you the biggest lessons.
Mhm.
Like, look at them, face them. A lot of times it's not easy. Like, it's not easy. Take your time that you need, but face your failures to say what happened, why did I not do this, or
Mhm.
what went wrong.
Mhm.
And the moment you face your failures, then you get the power slowly and slowly to figure that out. And guess what? Once you got this, nobody can stop you. So it's about the journey,
It is.
your beautiful journey. Look at it, enjoy the ride, and the best thing is you're a mother and you have your kids and family in this with you. So enjoy the ride and enjoy the journey.
Right. Well, awesome. I truly appreciate those wise words and that wisdom in all reality because we do need to enjoy the journey. It is a beautiful journey. It is a beautiful world that we live in. Um, we just get so caught up in the one an analogy that I really like to think about is be like when there's a hurricane, the eye of the storm is the calmest, right? So if you could put yourself in that place or space of mind, even with everything going around, like that is the calmest. So if you can be the eye of the storm, your life will definitely change. It will.
Wow. I love the way you put it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I know. It's just, I mean, yeah. I mean, you got to just we're gonna have that chaos. We're gonna have those whirlwinds of everything else going on around us, but we really need to focus on us and our emotions and being the center and the eye of the storm. But yeah, so I truly appreciate you being here. What is a good way? I know you said it before, but is there anything else that you want to share or anything else that they can get a hold of you, any social media handles? We'll drop all your links below, but sometimes people don't go back and look at the descriptions, so it's
That's
sometimes
so
nice to
true.
say it. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So once again, my website is upmasharma.com, upmasharma.com. Put in the contact us form if you would love a meditation session with me, or a photo shoot if you're in the Bay Area, or if you're visiting Bay Area. I would love to work with you in either of this. And once again, this session is complimentary. It is for you to just get a taste of what it is like. So it is complimentary. I would just wish all of you lots of good wishes. And Shae, I really wanted to thank you for taking the time to talk to me, and more importantly, to uplift the mothers and the entrepreneurs community. It is big. I see so many episodes, I heard so many and such beautiful words of wisdom that I carried as I listened to your podcast. So thank you so much for your efforts for our moms community.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right.
And that wraps up another inspiring episode of the Real Moms Podcast. A huge thank you to our incredible guests for sharing their story and insights today. If you found value in today's conversation, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And hey, sharing is caring, right? Share this podcast with your fellow mompreneurs, friends, and anyone who you feel could use a dose of inspiration. Share it on your social media as well. But most importantly, if you found this episode helpful, please, please, please leave me a 5-star review. This helps get our information out to those who have never heard or seen us before. Are you feeling inspired and you're sure that you could add some value to the podcast? Shoot me a message and let's talk. We love hearing from you. So connect with us on social media. Tag me at Shae J Spitz. That's ShaeJSpitz. And share your thoughts and takeaways, or even suggest topics you'd like to have us explore more in the future episodes. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. Your resilience is your strength, and your pursuit of abundant living is truly remarkable. As always, keep thriving, keep growing, and keep embracing the beautiful chaos of being a mompreneur. Until next time, take care, stay real, and keep living abundantly.